Buckeye Nation, how you doing? We're getting ready for the Bobcats from Athens, Ohio, visiting Ohio Stadium on Saturday. We're previewing this one today. They come off narrow loss to Rutgers 34-31 in Piscataway, performing very well in that contest, and then knocking off Rich Rod's West Virginia team in Athens. They make the hour-long trip up to Columbus to play in Ohio Stadium this Saturday. As defending MAC champions, they bring back their quarterback from last year who terrorized the MAC conference. He was the only quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards at the FBS level last season. And the Ohio State defense has quite the challenge, but I think they're up to it with Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. How do you think Matt Patricia is going to attack Parker Navarro, knowing he's an experienced quarterback, but knowing he hasn't seen this level of athlete and defense yet?
Yeah, so let's be honest right now. There's a big difference between the WAC conference and the Big Ten conference, and especially the members of the WAC conference and the Ohio State Buckeyes, man. Matt Patricia has been lights out. Really impressed me the first game against Texas. Just the scheme and the blitzes he's sending, just confusing the heck out of you know, offenses. He confused the heck out of Arch Manning. And, I'm not even going to talk about
Absolutely.
last weekend. That game was over before it begun. The coach of Grambling State waved the white towel, pretty much threw the towel in before the game even started. But
Sure.
dude, like some of these, blitz packages and schemes that are just they are an elite level. It shows that, even though Matt Patricia has not been in college for quite some time, his NFL experience brings a lot to the college level. And, I just, of course, the Ohio Bobcats, they're going to be pumped up to play the Buckeyes. So
Yeah.
I can see them, coming out strong and doing some things, but, those some things are going to be really limited. So once again, I feel like, Ohio State, in terms of, the defense, I feel like it's going to be, same old scheme, Patricia
Extremely.
trying some things out, but I'm also really looking to the rotation of the team. And, just like the rotation was great in the Grambling State game. I mean, it was to the point where, the second string got taken out and then the third string got put in. So it's just like everybody got to play. But, shifting from I don't know if you want to shift to the offense because I was gonna give my thoughts on that. I mean, first give us your
Yeah.
thoughts on the defense and what you expect to see from
Yeah.
Matt Patricia in terms of and let me give my thoughts real quick on the running quarterback. I could see him
Sure.
having Caleb Downs just kind of you know creeping on the just like right
Certainly.
behind the defensive lineman, just going back and forth, kind of having him as a spy or just, you know, pretty much showing more confusion to the quarterback. But what are your thoughts on the
Well,
defense?
it's fun, man. Because obviously Parker Navarro brings experience and confidence and swagger to the position. He's already got 180 yards rushing on the season. That's against two Power Four opponents. Not the greatest from those conferences, obviously. West Virginia and Rutgers, kind of the lower tier of the Power Four conference teams, but he does have 3 interceptions on the season, and so it will be interesting. Like you mentioned with Caleb Downs, how we defend him. We've always lined up Downs, even back last year under Jim Knowles, at different positions. It seems like he's at a different spot every time the ball is snapped on the football field, and it's part of that disguising. And Matt Patricia is continuing that as well. So we're going to confuse Navarro. We're probably going to bait him into some interceptions, just like West Virginia and Rutgers did as well. And it is going to be a fun challenge because he is one of the most athletic quarterbacks we're faced. But overall, talent wise, we know that the MAC conference is at a lower rung, and they have done a great job. They're a proud program, um, but they're not going to compete in the third and fourth quarter. Offensively, I don't think they really have a chance at stopping our high powered offense. The one thing I do want to see is the run game start to become more consistent. We need
Yeah.
to see that from the Ohio State running backs. Donaldson has been good, not great. Peoples has been a massive disappointment. Bo Jackson has been amazing as a freshman,
I
but
want to
we
see
need to see
more.
more overall.
Yeah, I want to see more reps with Bo Jackson, dude. Because as we
Yeah,
discussed, I could see him definitely getting to that RB2 spot. I mean, dude, James Peoples, it just seems like the vision's not there, and he just
Right.
not really patient, doesn't really want to foul with his blockers, and just like I don't know, man. I like what I see from CJ Donaldson. He could be that definitely that bruising back.
Hmm.
But dude,
Doesn't
seems
have
like
the home run speed, but yeah, bruiser for
I think
sure.
Bo Jackson has that home run speed, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he'll definitely be that, thunder lightning kind of duo with him definitely being lightning. So
I think we're gonna see Bo Jackson supplant as we talked Peoples as we talked about in the live on Tuesday night. It just seems like that's naturally where things are headed. It kind of seems like when Peoples gets in, it's kind of like when you play NCAA football and as soon as your running back gets the ball, you just hit turbo. Seems like that's what he does. He just wants to accelerate and just go. And like you mentioned, not patient, waiting for the hole to open up and then burst through it. No, he's just kind of go from the jump, and that needs to be corrected, or else he definitely will be supplanted as RB2. Um,
as
I mean, our passing attack, anything you want to see from that? I mean, Julian Sain's been pretty good, pretty accurate, pretty consistent, seems to be confident and have control over the offense. But what do you want to see from Sain in this contest? I mean, he had 300 yards the last outing, but what do we count from that, versus Grambling?
I want to see him get it in as many throws as possible, just like the last time, man. I mean, he's living up to the hype in terms of
Certainly.
ball placement. His ball placement is at an elite level. That first touchdown he threw against Carnell Tay, dude. I don't care who's defending him. Nobody's defending that type of pass. I'm talking like the like turnaround in the end zone, just throwing the
Mhm.
ball at the highest point to where that's literally not a defendable pass. It's
Yeah, I
just
got
not.
you.
I mean, if you go back and look at the Texas game, dude, he threw some passes that were on the money. It's not his fault
Yeah.
that he is the wide receivers just had mishaps and dropped them. But
First game jitters.
that's in the past. I just really liked that they let him do his thing. They let him, just throw the ball around, keep his confidence up, and whatever kinks were there, they're out. Like get him out. So just like let him do his thing again, man. Somewhat open up the playbook to be able to implement. Getting the ball to Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, let Quincy Porter get some reps.
Sure.
Let who's it, Bryson Rogers get some reps, Mylan
Yeah,
Graham. I mean, dude,
it'd
it's
be fun.
just the amount of talent that's around the board in terms of wide receiver. I mean, we have no wide receiver twos, we have no wide receiver threes. They're all wide receiver ones. But
Wow,
I mean,
folks.
man, we just need Sane to be ready. After this after Ohio, it's a bye week, and then you travel the West Coast to take on
It's
the
on the road.
Washington Huskies. If you look at in terms of the Big Ten, their record traveling to the West Coast, it
Yeah.
it wasn't really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see him on the road and see how he handles a raucous road environment. Both Oregon and Washington have notoriously loud stadiums, even in down years. So that'll be fun to watch in a couple weekends. This one, I kind of see the Bobcats keeping it close, maybe in the first quarter, but just the overall talent for Ohio State, we really pull away. I think fairly easy. I think by halftime, maybe it's not wrapped up yet, but it's pretty much wrapped up. I don't want to see Julian saying too late into the third quarter, but like you said, I do want to see him get in his reps so he is ready for the road and confident enough to be able to handle that road environment. But yeah, man, it's been since 1921 since an in-state opponent beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that was Oberlin, 7-6. I don't see any scenario playing out in Ohio Stadium where the Bobcats come in confident and swagger and knock off Ohio State. So I think that record is safe back in 1921. That ain't gonna happen. But any other things they're looking forward to in this contest as we take on the other uh, big time school in the state, Ohio?
I'm just looking forward. If they get a nice, considerably nice lead heading the half, to be able to see what else there is on the bench again, man. Just in case some
Yeah,
injuries happen, or
yeah,
maybe there's a chance that there's a player better. I mean, also with play Bo Jackson more, dude. Like,
want to see him eat.
get him in the lineup, man. I'm telling you, he could possibly be the future. And you got to take a look at who was actually going after him, and Ohio State ended up getting him.
Some big schools.
I also want to see more rotation on the defense. I'm looking forward to see more rotation on the defensive line again if they get a considerable lead heading into the half.
One interesting side note: Ohio State is not allowed to sack yet. Now, obviously, one of those opponents was Grambling State, but also the other was Texas with a ferocious defensive line. Does Ohio State enter the bye week still not having given up a sack yet through 3 games?
Yeah, I mean that's actually really impressive, and you know you got to tip your cap to Tyler Bowen, man. I mean that's elite level pass blocking, so got to tip your cap to him. But other than that, man, have a really good feeling that the Buckeyes are going to show up like they did last weekend.
Yes, sir.
Seems like they're on a mission to back, and you know this weekend just continues that mission.
I'm thinking it'll be something like 45-14. Ohio State just out talents the Bobcats and just takes it to them. What do you think this game ends up being? I mean, obviously it's depending on how early the starters get pulled, but
yeah,
what are you thinking score wise?
I'm thinking about 40-14.
Yes, pretty much in that same range. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be impressive to see 45 dropped on them. That's what we're expecting, a nice victory and a confidence booster heading into the bye week. And that's what we expect, and that's what we're going to see. Ohio State's going to take this one, going to handle their business, and start the year off 3-0, retaining the number 1 position in the country. Can't wait to watch another game unfold. If you have Peacock, I might have to stream that sucker on YouTube or something. We're going to have to do something to bootleg that junk this weekend.
Definitely.
But anyway, go Bucks and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.
OH.
I-O.